The theme of our show today is control and economy. Now, we can all set up systems that are more economical and more efficient. In a small office, choosing the right tools and taking the time to implement them correctly can make a huge difference. And let me show you how to do that using this Epson Workforce 600 as an example. This is an outstanding multifunction device that is designed from the ground up to support small work groups. Now, we showcased this a little earlier this season. If you want to see all the feeds and speeds of the Workforce 600, visit our website and view the podcast. But in a nutshell, it's designed to support small work groups. It's all about business multifunction. So from the top to the bottom, we've got an automatic document feeder. Not quite as fast as the one that we looked at in the scanner a few minutes ago, but still able to handle stacks of documents and process them for us automatically. Of course, it's also a flatbed scanner, allowing us to scan in irregularly shaped objects. Now, it's a printer, a scanner, a fax machine, and a copier all in one. And all of those features are managed here in the front control panel. A lot of effort has gone into this control panel, making all of the different aspects of the multifunction available to the user and making it easy to use. At the heart of it is a little LCD screen here that allows us to manage all of the functions, and then the controls are clustered logically. These main controls here allow us to go through the different menus and set all the different parameters for the multifunction device. Over here we have the cluster of fax controls, so it's all very easy to use. When we started looking at multifunction devices years ago, they were really designed to replace multiple peripherals, scanner, printer, a fax machine, but for a single user. And they worked best when they were plugged in to a single PC or Mac. The networking capabilities of the Workforce 600 changes all that. It is so much better to have a single device that can take care of a whole office needs, not just those of an individual. Now, I'm not talking about a huge office here, but a nice small office or a busy home. So think about for a second what the modern home and small office looks like. I see notebooks, lots and lots of notebooks. I see Macs and I see PCs and even the odd Linux-based notebook. There is the odd desktop in there as well, but the very odd desktop. Notebooks, after all, mean mobility, people coming and people going. My dream multifunction needs to fit into this reality. Notebook users coming into the office or home and then leaving. When they come in, they don't want to have to plug in. I need all of these notebooks to basically come into the office and use the multifunction device without a lot of hassle, either setting up in the first case or when they return. So let me show you how we put this all together so you can see how easy it can be. Built into the Workforce 600 is Wi-Fi networking. So we had to basically configure it first on our network, and this is a one-time task. I installed the disk in, I started with my Mac actually, because it works great on both Macs and PCs. So I put the disk, the startup disk in my Mac, I installed the drivers, then it said, you want to set the multifunction up to run on your network? I said, yes, I do. So they said, okay, plug it in for the first time. So what we actually had to do was we actually had to plug in the Ethernet cables from my wireless router into the multifunction device and into my notebook. And this was a one-time process. And the fact that we plugged it in facilitated it being installed a little bit easier than if we tried to do the whole thing wirelessly. After about 10 minutes of files being transferred back and forth, I could unplug everything, and then it worked wirelessly, and it's worked wirelessly ever since. This notebook, this Mac, was asleep a few minutes ago, so I could have been on the road out working, and I've just opened it up again, so it's just logged back onto the network, and I want to show you how easily and quickly it can print. So I click on the print icon, and a little bit of wireless magic happens. First of all, the print job is sent through to the Workforce 600, and the Workforce 600 tells the Mac exactly how much ink is left so I can monitor my ink level, so a two-way dialogue is happening over our wireless network. And of course, neither of these devices, other than having a power cable plugged in to the Workforce 600, neither of them have any wires connected at all. Now, this process works the exact same whether I'm in a Windows or Mac machine. Now, I want you to notice one thing. When we started this demo, the Mac was closed. It was in sleep mode, so it was as though I'd taken it out of the office and was working on it somewhere else. So when I opened it up, the Mac woke up and a process happened. First of all, it found the wireless network that it knew. It logged back onto the network, and as a part of the process of logging back onto that network, it was also able to find the Workforce 600 when I wanted to send a print job out. So there was no additional configuration. Once we've set our PC or our Mac up the first time on the network with the Workforce 600, every time we return, it's as though we were hardwired, plugged in. That's the way this should work. The concept of hot office, of being able to take your notebook and be as productive in your home office as you are in your corporate office, is essential to being productive in this day and age. The Workforce 600 is a prime example of how elegant that solution can be. Want more information on the products that we covered on today's show? Then check out our website. We've got podcasts, streaming video, and a searchable database going all the way back to our first season. Check it out at dottotech.com.